What's going on, everybody? Josh here with Jab Sports, and we are going to be discussing some of the recent trades that have been going on in the NBA, and most of those are involving the Cleveland Cavaliers, and those are the ones that we're going to cover and exactly what they're going to mean to each team. Now, the first trade that happened was a three-team trade with the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the New York Knicks. And that one right there, I mean, there's potential in... This is pretty much a win-win situation, or in this case, a win-win-win situation. The Knicks were able to offload J.R. Smith, who I think when he's on a losing team doesn't necessarily pan out too well, so it might be good that he's going to a contender. They were able to offload that off the books, save some salary cap space, be able to save some of the luxury tax dollars there as well. The Cavaliers got another great rotation player, so long as, you know, J.R. Smith is more good J.R. Smith as opposed to bad J.R. Smith. And he pretty much effectively takes the place of Dion Waiters as that bench scorer. They're both shooting around the same. J.R. Smith can be talked into playing defense, so hopefully that will, you know, evolve into something there as far as a rotation player goes. The Cavaliers also got Iman Shumpert, who's been out with a dislocated shoulder, so he's been out a while. He's more of a defensive specialist, and that's something that the Cavaliers desperately need. They need somebody on the wing as well as interior defense, but we'll get into that in a second with another trade that they've got going. But Iman Shumpert, to me, fills that role of he can guard either if the best player is, say, you're playing Oklahoma City Thunder, he could guard Russell Westbrook and guard the point guard position there. Or if he's guarding a shooting guard, you know, he can guard either of those spots, but either way, he's going to get the best person on the floor. And I think that's, you know, a big key component in what the Cavs are trying to get done. They put Shawn Marion in, and now that moves Shawn Marion back to the bench. And I think that definitely helps out a lot because he's, at his age, he's more of a rotation player. He's not going to put in 35, 40 minutes a game anymore. And they don't need him to do that. He hasn't been doing that. But it allows him to solidify that next five that comes in off the bench. So that is a key component there. Iman Shumpert, he's not back yet, and it will obviously take him a while to learn the rotation. But in the meantime, he's sitting around getting some of that information. Now, as far as Dion Waiters going over to the Oklahoma City Thunder, what's going on there is Reggie Jackson, who right now is kind of their bench scorer and sometimes their closer as far as coming in with Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant, part of that closing crew that comes in to help finish out games when they need offense. Now, the problem with that is Reggie Jackson has been playing well in some of the times that Russell Westbrook has been absent. Last year he was injured. Earlier this year he was injured. And Reggie Jackson filled that role. Do I think he's worth big money on the open market? Not necessarily, but he's going to get paid because somebody can use his services. The thing is, Dion Waiters is now somewhat of an insurance policy. They save a little bit of money there, you know, to be able to get rid of Reggie Jackson if that's what it comes to in the offseason. But they have Dion Waiters who they hope they can fill that same role. Reggie Jackson likes to come off the bench, shoot a lot, get some points, and he's pretty much allowed to because they don't have a lot of scores coming off the bench there for the Thunder. And now they've got Dion Waiters who can potentially fill that role in the future if it works out. So we'll see how that plays out. The Knicks, you know, they didn't get much. They were, like I said, they were just able to get rid of some salary cap space. And it looks like they're going to be getting rid of most everybody there anyways. Next up, the Cavs turned right around the pick that they got from the Oklahoma City Thunder, plus a pick that they received last year from 2013 from the Memphis Grizzlies. They turned those two first-round picks into Timofey Mozgov. And Timofey Mozgov is the center for the Denver Nuggets, or was the center. And he's not anymore. And he's over there and filling a hole that Cleveland desperately needed to fill. Whether they're able to get somebody like a Jermaine O'Neal if he decides to come back, which it looks like all signs will point to him coming back. But that gives them a huge role. Tristan Thompson can slide back down to the 4 position, which is far more natural for him. It allows LeBron James to not have to worry about going in and banging. Tristan Thompson can play the 4 and the 5 position. So I think that really helps solidify them as far as their rotation goes. He can stay in there when the 5 needs a break. He can stay in there when Kevin Love needs a break. And he fits that role a lot better coming off the bench. And there might be times, depending on who they're playing, that you're going to see Tristan Thompson closing out the game at the 5 position just to play a little bit smaller. He's a great rebounder. It's just size defensively and just putting that big body in there. Timofey Mozgov fills that role. So don't be surprised to see Mozgov come in, especially towards the end of the season, or maybe even right away, start to be that starter in the center position. Leave Kevin Love there and Tristan Thompson there for the 4 position, and allow Tristan Thompson to go back and forth to play the center in the power forward position, and let LeBron stay comfortably at the small forward position. So I think the Cavs, potentially, if Iman Shumpert can come back and remain healthy and play defense, and the thing with him is he is a restricted free agent, so if he is not playing well or he didn't play well continually, being a restricted free agent, the fact that he might not be playing enough minutes this season to warrant a larger contract, he might get put on a 1 or 2 year contract next year with the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're going to see that as the season plays out. Who knows if the Cavs are done? J.R. Smith has a player option for next year, which he's likely to opt unless he just has a stellar second half of the season. We'll see how that goes as that plays out. And then, of course, Timofey Mozgov. The Cavs potentially got 2 great shooting guards, one to start, one to come off the bench and give them some explosiveness, albeit some potential bad explosiveness. And then Timofey Mozgov to help solidify the center position. I think that it's just a good all-around. It's a good gamble. They're not committing to anything too long-term there. They got rid of a couple picks that they got through trades anyways. So, they got rid of their own pick in a separate trade. So that's just something going on there. I believe that was a protected pick. We're not going to get into that because their pick's probably not going to matter. They're going to have LeBron James for a few years. And so long as they can put these rotation players and these solid role players into place, Iman Shumpert's not going to, warrant a lot of shots. Neither is Timofey Mozgov. So I feel it plays out really well for the Cavs. I also feel it plays out really well for the Thunder. I mean, that's not a bad thing at all to have Dion Waiters as an insurance policy there for Reggie Jackson, who basically fills almost the exact same role. And then the Knicks, of course, freeing up all the space and continuing to lose games this year, hoping for more ping pong balls for them. Carmelo Anthony talking about sitting, which we will cover at a later topic. So just wanted to cover the 3-team trade there, and then, of course, the other trade that the Cavs made as well, and a lot of things going on there. I think potentially this is a great situation for all teams involved, and I think if potentially the greatest winner of that could be the Cavs. Consequently, they could also be the biggest loser in terms of J.R. Smith causing issues, Iman Shumpert not staying healthy, and that could, backfire on him. So be on the lookout for more NBA videos as we discuss a lot of things going on around the NBA as they happen. We're going to be doing a lot of weekend reviews, a lot of stuff coming up. Jab Sports is new. We're coming along, so make sure and subscribe now. We're going to be doing a lot more info. We're going to be covering MMA, NFL, NBA, MLB, and we're going to have different guys coming at you with different information, and that's just the sports that they follow. So make sure and stick around for that. A lot of exciting stuff coming from Jab Sports. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you guys watching, sticking around. If you like what you're seeing so far, feel free to hit that like button below. That's always greatly appreciated. And like I said, make sure and subscribe for future content as well. Check us out on Twitter as well. That will all be in the description. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, keep it real.